How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new Attack on Titan video. I'm gonna be honest. I'm actually trying out something new this time around. Instead of doing a straight up reaction, I'm just gonna basically give my own opinion, put a couple of my thoughts into it. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for future videos. Let's jump right into it. So, in the beginning of the new chapter, Pride, we have Hanji and Levi basically trying to survive together. Well, basically like Hanji trying to keep them alive because, of course, as we know, Levi is unconscious. Hanji's basically building that wagon that you saw Levi being carried on in the past chapter. Finally, we see Levi wake up, and he basically admits that he himself, the god, screwed up, and that he basically still wants to destroy Zeke, but he admits that he indeed did screw it up the last time. So basically, we jump back to the last chapter where Levi and Hanji run into Piek and Magath, and this is where Levi is discussing with Piek and Magath, and he's basically saying how they have the same interests about defeating Zeke at this point, since Zeke is a traitor to the Marleyan Empire as well now. So Hanji just basically goes on and states that they need to combine their strength, in order to overcome something so powerful. Later, we see Connie is still having some inner conflict with himself because of what action he's about to do. He basically knows that it's not right to feed Falco to his mother, but he's basically willing to do whatever it is in order to bring his mom back. But we all know how Connie's like, he's more of the, I would say, sweetheart of the group. He doesn't really have an evil heart within him. And basically, this moment here, this is where I took back and I could compare it to where Reiner had inner conflict within himself, and basically how everyone has their own mission and some people are neither good nor evil. They basically have their own agenda. So I guess right here you can kind of see how Connie has his own agenda, which is turning his mom back to human. Anyways, they get to Reigako, and Falco recognizes the word Reigako because apparently Connie was saying it in his sleep. And then Falco thinks that Connie's actually trying to get revenge for Sasha's death, but psych, you wrong, boy. So basically, soon after that, Connie unveils to Falco that there's a Titan laying down on the ground that is immobile, and he basically tells Falco to clean the Titan's teeth. Yeah, it's like not suspicious at all. And soon after, we see Gabby and Armin come to save him. Then we have Connie holding him as hostage. Gabby tells Falco from far away that he has the Jaw Titan powers, that he can use them in order to break free. Armin shows up and he thinks, what will Erwin do? And he's basically like, we kind of get a little throwback to the same ordeal they had before with like between him and Erwin to see who lives. He kind of throws himself into the Titan's mouth, and then Connie decides to save him, relinquishing Falco, of course. So Falco's saved now. And then out of nowhere, to me, which I thought was pretty weird, like it kind of had a, I don't know, like the whole vibe changed. Like I don't know, I may be the only one that thinks this, but as soon as Connie let go of him, he was like, oh okay, like he's like, I want to become a soldier that will make my mom proud. And I thought it was kind of random in that exact moment. I mean, I don't know. He kind of had a change of heart like immediately. Like he was just literally about to feed this kid into a Titan. Feed this kid to his mom who's a Titan. And then out of nowhere, he's like, okay, let's get out of here together. Like there's no tension anymore. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't know. I just felt like it was weird to me. Excuse me. Soon after, in the next panels, we see that Jean is basically on the side of the Jaegerists, which I honestly didn't believe for a second that he was turning to the Jaegerists because, I mean, you know how Jean is. He has a strong persona that won't let him give in to anyone easily. He's not a pushover. I mean, in a way. He stays true to his homies. And immediately I was like, oh, this has to be a double cross. And I just love how like the Eldians are straight up chilling while like there's a crap load of colossals like in the background taking over them, but they're all relaxed because they know that they're on their side and they're not even tripping anymore. They're all getting drunk and stuff compared to how things used to be with the normal Titans. So I just thought that was pretty funny. It was just ironic, that they used to fear for these things the whole time they were within the walls or are living within the walls, and then they're just like having a drink and having a ball while these humongous colossal Titans are just roaming about. Then, of course, we see Connie and Armin discussing Annie's return. And then, next thing, what do you know? Annie is like literally eating right next to them, gobbling up some food. And I'm just like, what the freak is going on? And then, next thing you know, Annie just leaves with Armin and Connie, leaving a letter to Hitch saying thank you for everything. And this moment was kind of cute, to be honest, because you don't really see that side of Annie, like being so caring and stuff, especially out of all this whole time that she's been trapped within the crystal. And I like how she tells Hitch, like, oh, like, thank you for being the best roommate for the past years. And then just the way she's eating up her food, like, she was starving, from not eating anything for all these years. And I don't know, I thought that was funny, and it was very heartwarming, to see Annie do that. Like, it was just out of character. But that kind of shows how at the end of the day, like she's human too. And then of course I was right. And what do you know? Gene comes out. He basically shoots and he shoots 4 times, activating a new plan. And then Piek comes out of nowhere and eats him and Oyanko and Yelena, basically taking them somewhere else to safety. So basically now we have a huge allied force, and it's basically all the Eldians and the Marleyans, including Captain Levi and Hanji, and they seem to have the made up the plan themselves. So we have some Avengers Assemble type of thing going on, you know? And basically, it seems that Eren is the final villain. That's what it seems to be, you know? Eren, he can't really see his actions correctly, you know? Like, I feel like he's kind of fogged out. Kind of just like when Reiner, Annie, and Bertolt did their whole thing, you know, when they first arrived. Basically, somebody has to slap some sense into him, you know? Like, as I stated previously in my old videos, our own perspective on things could well be seen as things that villains would do, you know? In someone else's story. So, in the end, what I think is going to happen is the young generation is coming together in order to end this whole war on Titans and everything, all the chaos in the world, and they just want to live in peace together, you know. I personally don't think that Eren is the final villain, or maybe he is, but quote unquote not really the villain. It would honestly break my heart as he's basically fought everyone and everything. He just fought for everyone's freedom. I feel like he probably needs to get slapped and get some sense into him. He's carried a lot on his own on his shoulders, and of course it's gonna affect him, you know, especially with all these things that all these memories that he has, you know, they fog his own memories up. And but then again, Eren does know the outcome, so I feel like he has a this might be his master plan, you know. His plan is to get the Eldians and the Marleyans to band together, and if that's his plan, then his plan has already worked because obviously they're joining hands and they're trying to get things done.